with Resident Evil 5. I was really thinking that we might move on to 6 right before this, but then I was looking in the extras modes here. We got the mercenaries. I played a little bit of it. It is similar to Resident Evil 4's mercenaries, but it's just not the same. I'm not sure how they explain it. It's just not the same. It feels like they're really pushing you to play it with another person, and I just don't have anybody. So if I had somebody else, I feel like that mercenary style would be good. But because I don't, probably gonna go ahead and skip it. Versus did a little bit of that. Thankfully, some people have worse aim than I do, surprisingly. So ended up taking a few W's there. A couple of L's as well. That was a surprise. But it wasn't enough for me to be like, let's show it on stream or nothing. So then I got to Lost in Nightmares and Desperate Escape. Now these actually give us some more story content. So I was like, okay, I can work with this. Like Lost in Nightmares here. Chris lost his partner Jill on a top secret mission some years back. Find out what happened on that mission. Now we kept getting flashbacks to this in Resident Evil 5, where they were fighting Wesker, then Jill eventually launches him and herself out the window or whatever. In which case, somehow they both ended up living off of that. And then we've got Desperate Escape, which is learn how Josh and Jill escaped from the Tricell facility. So, in Resident Evil 5, when we were playing in the main game, eventually when we got to the inside of the laboratory facility place, however you want to call it, there was a whole bunch of pods with people in them. So Chris goes to the computer, he types in Jill Valentine's name. We get taken down to that floor, we have to fight that crab boss thing, which if you didn't see that, you can watch the last stream, because that's in there. But we finished fighting that. Jill Valentine's capsule, pod, whatever you want to call it, comes out, it opens up, but she's not it. So presumably this is, presumably it was Josh that actually ended up getting her out of there in the first place and then made their escape, since we eventually regroup with them after the Wesker boss fight right at the end when we get the helicopter and get out of there after beating him. So we'll do Lost in Nightmares and Desperate Escape. Depending on how long those two take, that might just be the stream this time, since I gotta work tomorrow and work earlier than normal, so then so I don't want to push it too much today. So we'll see how it goes. Interesting. You can do co-op even in these game modes, but yeah, no, we're going at solo normal. Not sure how long these ones are, so we'll see.
A few years ago, the BSAA received intel as to the whereabouts of Umbrella's founder, Oswell E. Spencer. Jill and I were ordered by the BSAA's European headquarters to apprehend him. We accepted that mission in the hopes of uncovering some info that would lead us to Wesker. Chris to HQ, come in. We're at the target's location.
Copy that, Chris. Move in and procure the target.
Roger that.
What can you tell us about the area?
The satellite scan isn't showing anything out of the ordinary, but regardless, you should expect the unexpected.
Understood. We're in.
Let's move.
No immediate QuickTime events, right? You do like throwing them in when you're doing the cinematics without warning, so keeping my hands on the trigger. It's looking very mansion-esque here. Well, while we got the time, may as well loot it, because I don't know what we actually start off with. What do we actually have on this one? Just our handgun, and Jill only has a handgun as well. Well, that's just great. I'm gonna say like Spore Star or something. Oh, okay. It's some rider map. I keep forgetting that we actually have a map in Resident Evil 5, which is good. Like, I do appreciate the map actually existing. Everything's locked. Maybe if we upstairs.
Eagle 6 to Nest. Do you read?
We read you, Eagle 6. Go ahead.
We found some men
Seems to be
down.
dead.
Judging by their wounds, it looks like they were physically assaulted. I figure they're probably Spencer's security. Lord only knows what killed them.
Roger that. We knew this mission wouldn't be a cakewalk. Use extreme caution.
One open for some reason. Fair enough. I imagine about the same as this one, but may as well try it. Yep. And we open this. I forgot to turn notifications off. Electronic lock's broken, so much for getting through this one. Alright. Now they're really trying to push us into only one location here, so I guess we're just gonna have to deal with it and hope for the best, because that needs a key. One down there needs a key. Which also, this seems weird. Because when you play Resident Evil 0, this opening here is actually right here. Something goes square and can fit.
What is it with this guy and cranks?
He's a man of refined tastes.
He's obsessed. That's what he is.
Alright, that allowed us access to upstairs. We still haven't tried this door over here, and it doesn't say that it's locked, so we could go up. Nope, it's locked from the inside. Okay, never mind. I would have thought there would have been a lock symbol on there like we see on the map. That must just be... Those ones must just need a particular item rather than just being open from the back. Assist jump? Alright, go on, Jim. I'm guessing that means my,
Chris, I'm in a dining room.
Okay. How are you
Well,
opening
looky
it?
here. I found a weapon I can use.
Found a weapon. What? Oh, you found a sniper rifle?
Kinda takes you back, doesn't it?
To Raccoon City? Unfortunately, yeah. That's where all this started.
Hard to believe that was 8 years ago. I guess I am getting older.
You're not the only one.
Should I be waiting for you? I probably should be
I
waiting.
got the door open.
By the door open, I imagine you mean the one that... Yeah, down there that we couldn't get to? Okay. Still have yet to see a single zombie or anything yet, so that's kind of concerning. It also makes me think all the bodies up there are going to turn into zombies at some point. What else we got here? Patrick's memoirs. For a time, it appeared as if Master Spencer would recover his former health. But fate was not so kind, and now he confines himself to his study for days on end. It's been ages since I've seen him take his meals in the dining hall. I have endeavored to prepare meals to his liking, and I bring them every day to his study. Unfortunately, he lacks the strength to eat anything but soup and other liquids. I cannot recall a time in history of this household when the situation was as dire as now. In generations past, the Spencer estate was the nexus for only the most well-to-do European socialites. Now, only a skeleton staff remains to look after a man who keeps himself in virtual seclusion at one of his many residences. My family has been in the Spencer household service since the time of his great-grandfather. This rapid state decline would have been unimaginable even just one generation prior. I remember fondly the days of my youth, but that seems like a lifetime ago. It was about 50 years ago, back when my father was the head butler of the household. At that time, I was learning his duties in preparation to succeed him, and there was always always some chore or errand that would keep me running around the house. I remember how Lord Ashford, another aristocrat from a storied family and one of Master Spencer's schoolmates, Dr. Marcus, would find refuge from the summer heat at this mill. My father and I would accompany them and do our utmost to see that they wanted for nothing. Perhaps because I was the youngest person there, they would take to teasing me, though more often than not, they would treat me as one of them. I remember the time Lord Ashford gave me my first taste of bread. It was on the second floor of the dining hall, behind the stone statues lining the room. I'll never forget the Malforus scent when he opened the bottle, but those cherished times are only memories now. Lord Ashford, Dr. Marcus, and of course my father have all already passed on. Only Master Spencer remains, and I'm afraid his days may be few. When Master Spencer dies, it will mark the end of my illustrious family, as well as my family's service to his. For now, I can only wait for the inevitable. Snow stuck between the last few days. Password. Yeah, I'll totally remember that. Hopefully it didn't require me to remember that, because I kind of just took it through it away. Wonder who started the fire. Like Resident Evil 0, there would have been like an emblem right here. Yeah, kind of interesting to see the changes to the mansion, even between the different games. Now we can go downstairs. Well, we might have to go. Investigate, nothing useful here. I don't know about that one. Looks like some form of collectible based on that. Again, not really 100% completionist type of person, so if I miss them, I'm really not too worried about. Patrick's memoirs too. I cannot stay thinking about the screams of those poor souls imprisoned in the basement. I administered the virus to all of them as per Master Spencer's instructions 1 week. Whatever they've become now, they are no longer. I have assisted with multiple experimentations at Master Spencer's behest. I do not know what use a simple butler not schooled in the sciences such as myself can be. I should be proud that the Master trusts me with this important work. He normally has nothing but contempt or distrust for those around him. However, I can not help but feel a disconnect between how I think I should feel and my actual mental state. On the one hand, I am filled with joy at the chance to assist the Master in any way I can. On the other, I feel as if I am losing a bit of my soul with each experimentation I assist. The only way I can preserve my mental facilities is by taking time off or trying to divorce myself from all emotion. Whichever the case, I must act and not question the Master. Duty and honor, that is what's at stake. For generations, my family has been in loyal service to the Spencer house. I will not betray my duties, and I will serve Master Spencer until the end. I have dedicated my life to serving him, and there's no turning my back. It's time to check on the test subjects and report their current condition, Master Spencer. I'll carry out my duties, and I'll do so. Well, glad to see that you have somebody so. It says Piano Sonata number 14. Yeah, apparently Jill knows how to play that. There's some green curve, don't mind if I do. I should be opening that door right there.
Jill!
Roger.
Pretty sure there's other ways we could have gone before this, so maybe I should have checked those out as well, but this is the way we're going right now. This is a very long door here. It feels like it's trying to load a different part of the map or something with how long it's taking. That button went off for me grabbing that. So I'm sure that won't do anything terribly to us. Probably, it definitely did not just set off an alarm or nothing, right? The fact that it also gave us bullets and green herb right there. So we have a M, as well as a password that we have yet to see really like any use for. But this area should be cool, at least currently. Who knows about in here though, with so many bodies lying around? What does this one want? You want the emblem? Yeah. Alright. Checkpoint already? We haven't seen nothing. Yeah, you thought you'd get me with that. Now we can go into this room that's got like nothing in it. It's locked. Jill might be able to get. Jill.
Roger.
Well, that door
Okay,
doesn't look
it's
concerning at all. This one's looking all nice, and that one's looking like barbaric in comparison. Something on the computer, perhaps. Do I need my password for this? Here requires 3 passwords. Okay, well, I've got one. So, not yet, not yet. Very strange that they just had that caged off the way that it is. Nothing in here. Nothing in here. That's a ton of grenades. 2 grenades and 2 incendiary. Oh boy. We're gonna be flying something soon, aren't we? And green herb. I mean, they never give you this much stuff and then not have something. Heat sensitive paper. Sensitive paper? Something's moving stuff around here. It's locked on the other side. Oh. Well, sounds like we might be in a fight here soon enough. I see that right there. Probably could be running through here. Alright, heat sensitive paper. Well, we've seen actual fire in the other area. So perhaps that's what it means by heat sensitive paper. Again, they think they're gonna get me with these masks coming out the windows, but I'm like really not concerned. I actually have ammo right now. As opposed to like most of our Resident Evil 5 playthrough, which was sad, but you know. Oh, I thought that was something I could break for a second, like a vase. No. Burn papers? Apparently, yeah, sure. Okay, go ahead. That's probably password 2. Picks up password 2. Yeah. Right. So we have 2 passwords now, but we don't really have anywhere else to go, unless upstairs now. Was that the thing? We checked that one top left, but top right seems as though it should be open as well. Did we go up here already and I forgot? That very well could be. Nope, looks like we're good. Okay. Looks like pages from the diary, some entries are missing. May 1998, played poker the night with Scott, alias from security, and Steve from research. Steve was a big winner, but I think he was cheap. That's coming back. May 10, 1998. One of the higher-ups assigned me to take care of a new creature. It looks like a skinned gorilla. Scott said there had been an accident in the basement lab. I just knew something like this would happen. Those in research never sleep, not even on holidays. May 12, 1998. I've been wearing this Darn spacesuit. Since yesterday, my skin's getting grimy and feels itchy. May 16, 1998. Alright. A rumor is going around that a researcher who tried to escape this state last night was shot. My entire body feels hot and itchy and I'm sweating all the time. I scratched the swelling on my arm and a piece of rotten flesh just dropped. What's happening? 1998. Fever gone, but itchy. Today hungry and eat dog. 4 itchy taste. There's a note stuck between the last few pages. Pretty sure we've had a mentioning of this in the earlier Resident Evils, at least in so that guy's. I didn't even see that right there, but I'll take that. Our Magnum, it is. They gave us 2 weapons so far and a ton of grenades. And some healing items, yet we've had to fight nothing. So maybe we're gonna trigger this entire place when we try and touch the computer as some form of like security. Or maybe we're using the computer to unlock the electronic door up there where all the bodies were at the guards. Apparently Jill cannot keep up whenever I start running, like she just lags very far behind. And her passwords don't make me enter them. Don't make me do this. Patrick Memoirs 3. I've been in Master Spencer's employ for the majority of my adult life. As of late, however, I find his actions to be inscrutable. For example, he has taken every possible precaution to conceal his whereabouts from the outside world. For what reason, I do not know. Then one day, he asked me to find a certain man and make him aware of the Master's whereabouts. I do not know why he would go to such lengths to contact this man. Perhaps he wanted to see if someone could find him. The man whose question is one Mr. Albert Wesker. Well, there's Wesker, so he's probably here, in which case that would very easily be why those people out there got bodied. A name I have not heard in quite a long time. I only met him once, and that was over 10 years ago. I'm ashamed to admit that I cannot recall his face, because as head butler, it's my job to remember people. The reason I believe is because of his eyes. Those cold, unfeeling eyes that completely overshadow his other features. At any rate, I have endeavored to get the information in the Wesker's hands without letting on that it was Master Spencer's desire that he have that information. I know of a certain unscrupulous individual who could put the information on the streets for the right price. He is the kind that does not care who he talks to. What made the individual I found of such importance is that he is in the employ of a female spy who has regular dealings with Wesker. Okay, so now he's talking about Ada, presumably. I paid this man, I forget if his name was Roberto or Ricardo, more than he deserved and gave him the bare minimum of information was necessary to fulfill Master Spencer's wishes. I was trying to think about Roberto or Ricardo. It should be Ricardo, but then I was thinking it might have been like Barry or something. I dutifully carried out Master Spencer's directions to the letter. It was at this point that the situation took an even more cryptic turn. The Master, he let me go. I did not know why. I asked him for a reason, the only time I ever questioned it. But he responded with only silence. I do not know what to do now. I'm filled with a sense of loss. Everything I ever known now is gone. I dedicated my entire life to serving the Spencer house, and now that book has been forcibly closed for no apparent reason. The only ones who remain will be those untrustworthy security guards and the people in prison below the premises. I truly doubt the guard's ability to tend to all of Master Spencer's needs. Could it be that he plans on dying? No, he's not that type of man. He would not want to leave all his affairs in such an unfinished state. Master Spencer has some grand machinations at work that are beyond my ability to comprehend. At any rate, I can only obey his wishes and take my leave. I will be loyal until the end, even if it breaks my heart to do so. There's another file here. It looks to be a list of test subjects. Test subjects. Hans, Felicia, Marco, Jonah, Irma, Ken, Laura, William, Hero, Derek, Miles, Alex, Albert. Alright, so Laura, I believe, is in Resident Evil 0. I don't remember if it's her or like her daughter or something, but one of them is this this monster that wears the face of, it's either the daughter or the mother, whichever one. It's the opposite. So if it's the mother, then it's the daughter's face, or if it's the daughter, then it's the mother's face. And it is like some form of abomination that like follows you around the mansion in certain parts. William's name is also mentioned here, presumably William Birkin, being the creator of the G virus. We also had the name of Albert, presumably Albert Wesker, which, you know. The number of candidates has been limited to the 13 individuals listed. Oh boy, here we go. Do I have to play as Jill now? What am I supposed to do?
I can't stop it! The controls must be somewhere else!
Documents, memoirs. Not the time. Not the time. Probably should look. Yeah, you're probably gonna die over there. Patrick, memoir. No, not the time. Yeah, you're probably big dead, by the way. I have no idea what I'm looking for here. Am I not? What about that lever right there, dude? What about that lever right there? Was I supposed to know this beforehand? I don't understand. Again, another part where I'm giving something to do, but I have literally no direction on how to do so.
I'll use the lock. Stand back. All clear.
Ah, well, you're about to become a Jill Scooter there. Alright, well, I know what to do now. Fair enough. Don't star me all the way back. Okay, good. Oh no, whatever shall I do? I remembered the locked door a little too late. To be fair though, when you see a locked door or something like that, we saw the lever like literally in her room, right? So like, why would she not just grab it? But presumably it's actually on this side, rather than actually in her room herself.
All clear.
Yeah, it's right on the other side. Okay, fair enough, I guess. I mean, we did see it, but it's not exactly as if that's the first thing the register did. Especially since we knew it was locked. And it wasn't very clear looking at a diagonal that she actually had the ability to hit the lock from there, but it looks like she could, so I guess we're all good. I knew it. I was like, that doesn't seem like a regular lamp. The way they open the doors seems like very much the Resident Evil 1 inspired, which probably shouldn't be too surprising considering.
Come on!
Out of the question!
Okay, I'll read it by myself then. Spencer's memoirs. I, Oswell E. Spencer, founder of Umbrella, as well as its chief executive officer, hereby proclaim myself as ruler of all mankind. Well, we can already see where this is going. Everyone shall prostrate themselves before me as they once did for the ancient false gods. At least that's what my destiny should have been. If I did not become a god, I cannot sever my ties to my own weak humanity. Instead, my body is being destroyed by this disease, the disease of age. It has carved wrinkles in my face like a well-weathered canyon, and my arms are like the thin, withered branches of a dying tree. Age has even deprived me of the use of my legs. The only chance I'll ever have of becoming a god and shaping humanity's destiny is to stop this disease from continuing to ravage my body. I believe there's a saying about realizing the joys of life when one is at death's doorstep. Sayings like that are for the weak who are going to die. They attempt to mask their fears with the aphorisms. Mortals cannot comprehend what life means for those who death is not a concern. The ignorant are fond of making generalizations to include those who would not be party to their pedantic musings. I will undo this unjust travesty done to me by time, and I will present myself as a perfect being that will rule over all mankind. I will give them a new set of commandments to govern their lives. All that remains is to find the key to eternal life. The virus manufactured by Umbrella is that key. It suppresses telomere shortening, which negates the function that limits cell division. Somewhere in that process is the key to immortality. If the process could be perfected, that key would be mine. I have the means available to me. I can realize my ambitions thanks to Alex. I lost much in human capital following Umbrella's bankruptcy, but I still have Alex, the best and brightest of them all, in the last of my children. I have faith that if anyone can find a cure for my ailment of time that keeps me from assuming my role as the head of mankind, it is Alex. Alex will find them. And he's putting a lot of faith in Alex here. I've done everything Alex has asked me. Alex's ingenuity far surpasses those of normal people. We wait for the appropriate time, gather the necessary materials, and Alex continues to keep the operation running smoothly. Most children are held back by the limits of their own intellect, but not so with Alex. I've never witnessed anyone so adept at absorbing the talents of others simply by observing. I could not be more pleased. Alex displays superior qualities to everyone else. I've provided everything Alex and the other researchers would need to conduct their research. Unlimited funding, top-of-the-line equipment, research materials, and an endless supply of test subjects. The only thing wanting is time. They will conduct their research on an isolated island in the South Seas that is home to an abandoned military installation from a nearby country. Alex has already gone there with a group of research assistants, research materials, and hundreds of test subjects. I wait in earnest for good tidings of their research. Instead, I receive only a phone call a month later asking me to send more test subjects. How is it possible that they had gone through hundreds of test subjects in only a month? As my frustrations rose, Alex attempted to reassure me. You'll be pleased to hear that all experiments are running smoothly. And so I continue to look. I've waited and waited and still no word from the island. It has been a year since they left, and I've sent thousands upon thousands of test subjects for their research. As soon as Alex makes an improvement to the virus, the team administers it to another batch of test subjects. Unfortunately, they do not have the time to study the virus before testing. If it looks feasible, they proceed forward and see how the test subjects react to it. All of this is to be expected, I suppose. It's not Alex's fault. I've been impatient, true, but the situation is dire. It has not only worn down this worthless shell, but has also attacked my internal organs and rendered many of them virtually useless. What little functionality I can eke out of them is only thanks to the machines attached to my body. Time is a merciless enemy. I'm counting on you, Alex. Only you can give me the key to eternal life. Alright, so Spencer is clearly, like, getting desperate. Like, this man is, he's losing it. Alright, so we know this crank goes down into the bottom area because it was like, oh, it's got to have a square hole at the end or something like that. In Resident Evil, if you've seen any of the other ones that I did, all the Resident Evils enjoy their cranks. Like, they cannot get enough. Why? I have no idea, but there it is. And you go ahead and turn it. I've got more of this stuff anyways. Yeah, now I have to do it. Come on. No, of course they put one right back there. These ones seem to be far less hidden than the blue medals or whatever that were in the main game. Not that the ones in the main game were hidden that much. Some were, but I didn't go back and get them all or whatever. It's just some that I remember in certain spots that I just left because I was like, it's not worth it. Just passed up another one right there.
And when have we ever been that lucky?
Well, you're not wrong, Jill. You seem to be probably the least lucky between the two. Right, so hundreds of test subjects down below. And it's red, okay. They're really trying to make me, like, jump scare, like, waste all my ammo. I refuse to do so. Even if it ends up meaning that I'll take damage. I guess this is where they keep those test subjects, because no one's checked on things in a long time. Yeah, no, you're looking pretty not doing great there. Any more hiding in here? I mean, if they're like decently obvious ones, I'll go for them, just like get them or whatever, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to get them. I don't know what was going on here, but it was obviously quite barbaric. Yeah, that doesn't look great, for sure. Ammo. Like, a ton of ammo. Like, we started off with a lot, but now we're picking up. Okay. Yeah, I missed something. Why did the music pick up the way that it did? Jill's not freaking out about anything either. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that we're fine. Rifle ammo? Well, you're the one with the sniper rifle, so yeah, you should probably have that one. Was like that just a delayed music sound effect from seeing the bodies there? Now that I could see. Although it seems weird that I would have played so late. Alright, nothing we can do about that one. Everybody's looking pretty dead, but that's... Oh, right, there you go.
What's the problem?
This is why it smells so bad. Be careful.
Yeah. Right. So I imagine that its weak point is probably back there on its back where it was last time, except I don't really have a good spot to find that thing. Probably take out my magnum as well. Okay, apparently you're Are we supposed to be getting blindfolded? Is that because if we were supposed to, that's big news. It took quite a few Magnum bullets, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that using the Magnum on it is probably worth it. It also seemed like a good idea to go up there because it made it really easy to hit the weak point, whereas if we tried to fight in this cramped corner like this, I've got like very little room, and Jill has a very bad problem of like body blocking me into taking damage that I don't need to take. So, I guess maybe the music going off was because I was supposed to be seeing the creature there. So definitely not the case. Alright, good to see that you're still alive, I guess. Did that even do damage to me? I don't think it did because she broke me out of it so quickly. Good to see that we're finally starting to get some action here. Oh, you're gonna do it again. imagine that knifing you like 20 times was good enough. Won't be surprised if we saw a second one of those, whatever you call it. I didn't really get to see a good picture of what it was. Is he maybe like a Laura imitation? Laura being the yeah, the thing that was in the series original. Jill, we can go. Again, Jill, we can go. It's very slow, so if we can just fight it, then we can just do the radio. She must have gotten hit by the AE there. Because she takes some damage. Can you jump across, or are you stuck over? Seems like you're alright, kinda hate that I wasted my magnum on those things, if it's gonna be that easy to kill. I mean, if they're gonna be that slow, you may as well just kite them, right? Guess we can't open this door? No. You're gonna jump back up if I walk over to you, right? I guess no. That being said, we'll just go ahead and walk around it. It's not like a huge detour. Maybe he only like props up if you step on him when that thing comes through to like startle you more. I could see that. Okay. What did I miss this time? Missing something here? I'm not sure what you're looking for here, game. Hey. Okay. Punch that dude in the gut real quick. Yeah, time to go. Same strategy as with all mice. Just get them into a better spot we can take them out in and just load. I'm not sure how far they actually follow, but I imagine they're pretty decent. Again, those would probably be a lot more spooky if they didn't give them away, like, straight up with the music or whatever. Like, if I had still been like, oh, what's happening? And then he came down without the music going up. Be like, oh. Well, hopefully she actually does manage to grab all that stuff up there and doesn't just leave it. Which it looks like she is. Some of it at least. But whatever. It's locked, you gotta find the key. Oh, well, I guess she needs to be up there. Well, cover me. You barely shot as is. I probably used like 3 times the ammo you have just trying to get the dudes off of us here.
Chill.
I imagine I would need her to grab this. Oh, good. She has a way up here to get it. Picked up the jail key.
Chill.
I'm more than likely we'll probably get another guy like right at the bottom or something like this, right? Although I am running out of ammo. Jill's holding out on me, so maybe we will get on it. Otherwise, we're gonna have to be like knifing them or running through traps to get rid of them at some point. Which my ammo is not holding up. Apparently somebody's around here. Alright, well, time to not go that way. We can leave, like, in a few seconds. Take this, no, that's not actually too late for you, so I don't run out of ammo. fired.
Come on!
I'll let you keep him for now, but if I run out of ammo and you start, like, not shooting him again, I am stealing that sniper rifle away from you. Picked up gold bricks.
Go!
Okay.
Right, I have nothing for this, so this is all you, by the way. I don't know what much more I can do here. We have like 19 bullets total, unless I'm actually specifically supposed to be going out of my way to dodge them here, which could be a thing, but at the same time it doesn't necessarily feel like we should be needing to do so. So much for starting off with ammo. I've already had to throw it all away, dude. Okay, mechanism is fantastic. And that's just the way to jump over here. Okay. I imagine that's totally not going to close right behind us. Or, you know, we could just fall through the floor. And yeah, maybe should I run on, like, really old planks and stuff? That's my bad. Oh, we lost Jill already? Oh, she had all my ammo.
Fine, but I lost most of my gear.
You had all the ammo left. You can't lose your gear? Are you kidding me?
Try to find a way out of there, and I'll find a way to meet up with you.
Copy that. Watch your back.
Do I at least have my knife on me? Okay, at least I have my knife on me. That would have been real nice to have some flash grenades and, oh wow, I even lost my heals and stuff too? Are you kidding me? Alright, well we've got a single flash grenade to defend ourselves with and a knife. So, clearly nothing could possibly go wrong here, right? Right? Score, sorry man. Well, somebody's walking around there. They got like a boss symbol. Well, we're not getting through that. Not getting through there either. It looks like it's very much forcing us into this area. Which way you headed? I guess you must have saw me because the song's picking up here. I know how actually smart their AI is, so I'm not sure how far he's actually chasing us. It's feeling very Dead by Daylight currently with how we go now. Can you even get up here? No, but you can definitely just hover around here. No, never mind, you can get up here. Alright then, we're gonna go this way. That's the only person we currently have marked on here. I wouldn't be surprised if we run into more, wouldn't I? Hey Jill, you good? See you over here in the corner. What, you gonna... Well, did you actually stand there the entire time trying to hit that box? You kidding? Yeah, please. I'm gonna switch you back into cover so you don't try and fight that thing straight up. Like, just... Maybe I should have left you there. Because now I gotta watch out for you and... Damn, that's a problem. 1 second. Okay, we're back. Currently, we only have this guy. Looks like he might have seen me, but I don't think his AI actually knows how to get over here, so we should be good. We have 2 flash grenades. I guess if we actually get caught, the thing is, I'm not sure what we're supposed to be doing with these here. Because it said there was like a yellow triangle, or not a yellow one, but a green triangle over there, and like something could fit into it, but I don't have like anything on me. I also don't know why like Jill was over here just like randomly trying to hit a box forever. Maybe for co-op this is supposed to be like you two being separated from each other and then meeting up eventually. That kind of stuff. Can I like throw you above these? Is that what it is? I need to do like an assisted jump or something? Get out the way. Investigate. Looks like something could fit into this blue block. Again, everything's like, oh, something could fit in here, but I found nothing to suggest that anything would be able to do so. So I just must not be in the right area or something. You can actually see me? I don't think that you do. We had 3 flash grenades, so if he does, we can flash him and get out. If it took us like 30 bullets to kill one in our action guns, I highly doubt 2 of us knifing him are going to actually do anything wild. I guess maybe we need to lead her back to the area. Yeah, would you just do 8s? Is that like your thing? If you don't see us? Looks like something could fit in. Again, everything looks like everything could fit in somewhere, yet I found nothing that could use it. I just like walking past it all or something? What is going on? I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you live over here. Again, oh yeah, it feels like something could fit in. Maybe we do actually need to kill him? Like maybe I need to flash him, hit him while I can, and then once he's back to being him, then we flash him again. That seemed to be like the thing, because I don't feel like I can actually go anywhere currently. Oh, so this is going to be an interesting fight. What even? Okay, I'm probably gonna die here, but I really have no idea what to do at this point, so hold this, uppercut this man. Alright, got hit instantly, started to die. That's pretty sure our flash grenade didn't actually do anything. Then with another uppercut. Right, so I only have a single healing item. Yeah, we got another flash grenade. Oh, yeah. Jill, please. No? Okay. There we go. Don't know if this is what we're supposed to be doing, but, I mean, I don't know what else I could be doing. You know, the only thing I've got is flash grenades so far. Unless maybe stuff keeps respawning, so then I can keep farming it for flash grenades until we finally kill him, or I was supposed to be able to kill him with those last 2 flash grenades. Like, I really just, maybe I'm, like, supposed to distract him, and then the second player would be, like, hitting him in the knife while he's, like, swinging his weapon at me or something. I can see that. Otherwise, was like, I don't know how I win this solo.
Go!
Okay.
I probably should catch him when he's not looking directly at us, though, if we are going to go about trying to hit him. Although something tells me he can probably see and probably become aware of us just by us looking around him. Is there like nothing? Is the decoration here? Nothing? I get out the way, Jill. Wait. Like trying to get me in trouble here. I need him to like attempt an attack me if he's gonna notice us. Somehow get hit. Okay, that threw my camera around. Rip that idea. I must be missing something. Right. Okay, you're grabbing me. That's fine if Jill actually does something. No, she's literally gonna do nothing. Okay. Well, I attempted to do something there because I have no idea what it's asking of us, because I would think that we would need to kill this guy because everything says, oh, it seems like something should be able to fit in here. Yet we found no evidence of anything that should be able to fit into any of the one that we have run across. And everywhere seems to be blocked off, which I thought we might be able to get through an assisted jump or something along those lines, which is yet to be seen. Like every one of these areas are we supposed to make him hit those things with like his anchor or whatever? That could be a thing. But then again, that feels like very wonky, and I'm sure gonna be plenty of trial and error. Can I jump up to this one? Okay. Oh, he saw me, but I don't think he can. Alright. Now I thought he couldn't actually get up here, but then again, I guess. How would that actually benefit us? Picks up crank. Alright, so now we gotta just play match the crank game. That's where we're at. Well, Jill got something over there. Unless she's keeping his attention, which may or may not be a good thing.
We can take them all out with this.
We can take them all out?
Jill! Jill!
Oh, I see. We need to like.
This. You lead them in.
Okay, I need to aggro him. He needs to follow me, not Jill, and then we're gonna drop it. Alright, fair enough. Yeah.
Got him.
You got something for me there, friend? Sun Eater Serpent. Well, it doesn't sound like you're exactly gonna be the last one, considering it sounded like they were like, we can drop it on them, implying that there should be more than just that guy. Which it looks like everybody else just now spawned because we got that one. It's like, you get an idea now just do it like 3 or 4 more times. It'll be easy. Red still doesn't seem actually useful to us. I think blue originally let open. Red, am I correct? Yes. Can you just like go? I just like don't even want to look at you. all the arachnophobes out there, like, thank you for killing the spiders. And a tiny amount of school. Someone's coming down that hallway. Would rather not meet them if I didn't have to. So presumably these last two will be last pieces that we need. We're going to that. Swing back over this way. Did this just now open by us taking out that other dude, or did those guys break in through here originally, or they broke in after we saw we took that guy out, and that's what led it over? That is what I'm thinking is what happened. We got the red. Oh gosh.
Come on!
Oh, Jill, we need to go. Jill, we need to go. This really doesn't seem that stressful so far. Maybe on the higher modes, maybe they make them move like a lot quicker or something, in which case that'd be a bit more spooky. I don't even know what Jill's doing. Like, are you stuck or something?
Come on!
Roger.
Were you trying to act as distraction for the green one? I'm guessing that's good.
Chill.
Roger.
I'm guessing that's what you were trying to do. I really have no idea.
I've got this. You lead them in.
That guy. I wonder if he gets faster if he sees me, just so that way. If I'm looking at the water, maybe then it'll actually pop up.
Chill.
Okay.
Or if I was looking at the water, maybe I would see their bodies. Oh no, he saw me. What am I gonna do? Just walk a little slower. Yeah. Oh boy, you almost got me there, friend. Real scary. Real scary, spooky like. Oh no, what's that spiky thing on top of your head? Ooh. Way to just like look at it, not even react to it, just like accepting death immediately upon seeing it. He's like, well, I guess I'm dead. Try head serpent. Alright, once I figured out what we actually need to do here, it turns out doable. And we gotta get this purple. Yeah, they must be clearing these areas open for us because we didn't have access to these areas. I'll take their flash grenades, though. I don't know if they'll be really all that helpful. We never really used flash grenades originally. Gosh. Give me that egg. Every time with snakes. Every time. Alright, we're looking for the purple one. That's where we're at here. Yeah. Violet, of course. Couldn't possibly be purple. Gotta be violet. Makes sense. I guess the flash grenades is to leave them in there and then flashbang them and then drop it on them, but like, you really don't like need it for no reason to put the flash grenades anymore. May as well check up around here while we have the opportunity. Oh, it looks like the rank is up here as well, so yeah, that would do it. And some more snakes.
Come on, Jill.
Okay. I've got this.
Oh, you're all sorts of scared now that I know you're here, huh? Aren't you? I thought the dude was literally gonna meet me over here and be like, alright, just kill me. And be like, oh, thank you. You make my life so easy. No, that's not easy. You, friend, hello. I would like to purchase a anchor from you? No? Okay. Oh, that could have been problematic if they had any idea of what was going on besides you. Jill? Oh no, she didn't. She got back down because she was like, Jill, get back up. Gosh, now if I go up there, he's gonna. Really, I have to. Alright, go back up here and try and get this ready while the dude's someplace still around here.
Jill.
I got this.
And now he's going the wrong way. Now I have to wait for her to get it back up because it's not ready anymore. Jill, you're killing me. Turning back around. What, I stepped on your anchor? And he's like, oh, you stepped on my anchor? Yeah, that was me. I stepped on your anchor. What are you going to do about it? Oh no, I'm so spooky. Oh no, please, no, anything with the anchor. It was a prank, bro. It's just a prank. Got it. Yep, that was real difficult. But he did. I liked my idea earlier of flashbanging them and then knifing and uppercutting them to death. That seemed a lot more fun, but you know, there's something about smashing these guys too. I would imagine that's the last of them since we broke all of them, and I don't know how else we're going to be killing any of the others. I just gotta imagine this mansion is like an architect's nightmare. Or a house modeler, I'm not sure. It wouldn't be an architect, wouldn't it? I don't know. Anyways, I imagine whoever worked on this was probably like hated it, but also loved it at the same time. I feel like it's probably like the coolest one I've done versus this is so much work. We still don't have any gear on us. Well, never mind, we got handguns now. I imagine you're going to steal the other one from this guy?
Take it!
Yeah.
Roger.
Alright, well, we got our handguns back, and actually with ammo in them. At least ammo for me, anyways. I'm sure Jill probably still had about as much as she normally had. Lighting in this part could be a little bit better, but it's also just as bad as my screen. So if it doesn't look that great, it's actually just the game being a game. I think everything up until this part has looked fine, though. Don't tell me this is it. This is like 5 minutes. Well, apparently it's been like an hour, but it feels like 5 minutes. Not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. Wesker is being set like every turn, so I'm not sure what Bolts is going to do. I did hit it a few times there while he was hitting Jill, but apparently that doesn't matter. Maybe it just wants us to run out all our ammo on it. I can see that being a thing. Don't form a counterattack, huh? Well, it takes some time to actually recover as well. No. How about that? Alright, we know scripted battles and all that. Am I realistically supposed to be looking for something to do here, or is this just like a futile, just run out the clock sort of deal? Or am I supposed to be getting wrecked? Apparently I'm pressing every other button than what I need to. I actually hit him that time. It's gonna use the waves if you don't want, or you know, and Jill. Apparently I saw bullets. I mean, I don't know how I'm not possibly hitting at this point, but they're even like dodging things that like I'm not even shooting at, but alright. Like, am I supposed to die here on purpose? Is this time related? Again, like, any form of direction here would be nice. I need to break the window open so Jill can do what she's gonna do. Is that it?
Come on!
Out of position!
Yeah, Jill pretty dead. Oh, you still have me. Of course. Well, it sure didn't seem to do much. Alright, I was thinking maybe I had to do like a restraint or something like that. How we did at some points. Like, am I supposed to die here? Like, is that what we need to do here so that way she'll actually do what she needs to do? I'm not getting it. Let's go ahead and eat an egg real quick while he's doing this.
I expected more.
Are we good? I guess we're good. Again, some type of time limit, be like survive Wesker's assault, something, you know, any form of mission objective, really. My man just straight up on his bench like, can I help you? Gun didn't work, so the knife's gonna work better, and that the knife didn't work, so melee combat's gonna work better. Again, this man managed to dodge literally this entire fight, except for this one attempt. Like, how, though? Unless he legitimately wanted something like this to happen. Because there's clearly no way we ever win that fight based off of that. You can ask, like, Jill in Lost Nightmares. Is there a reason to do so? You can now view Chris and Jill in extra figures. I guess the do her side and then let the AI take over for Chris? But it really doesn't seem like there's a lot there for it to be. Yeah, no, probably not gonna do Jill's side because I imagine it's basically the same thing, but maybe like 2 different areas, which is like just not enough for me to consider doing more of it. Desperate Escape, though. Go ahead and look at that one.
Jill. Jill.
Okay, this takes us back to when we saw Wesker there. He had the, what I believe is the control plug on Jill, and we took that off her.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
You're Sheva, right?
Yes.
I couldn't control my actions. Oh my god, I was still aware.
That is pretty horrifying, isn't it? To still be aware of your actions even if they weren't your own.
Listen, I'm gonna be alright. You do need to stop him.
We can't just leave you here.
You have to. This is your only chance. If Wesker succeeds, Uroboros will be spread across the globe. Millions will die.
Well, yeah, but
This is nothing we haven't seen already as of so far, but I figured I'd let it play out regardless.
Chris, you're the only one who can. Before it's too late.
That way I don't skip anything that feeds into this part of the episode by skipping this part, because that does happen sometimes. Also, like, you're, you know, where we took off the control plug, you're still, like, kind of bleeding out from there. I don't imagine ripping electronics off of a person's chest is probably that healthy.
Take care of him. You're our only hope to survive this.
Right, and then we never really see anything of her story after this, but now we should be able to do so.
Chris.
Yeah, probably should be wearing like high heels inside an abandoned like temple, but maybe that's.
Are you all right? Are you all right?
Chris.
Good. You are awake.
Can you guys hear him? He's a little on
Wait a
mine,
minute.
but I just want to make sure.
You
that
are Jill Valentine.
How?
his
Who are
voice
you?
is like a little soft, but then if I move it up, the rest of the video is
Captain
gonna
Josh
get
Doe,
much louder. so
BSAA West Africa.
I'll
branch.
move it up for the time being and try and
Got to
remember
say,
the setting.
I never thought that I would get the chance to meet you.
Thanks.
Okay, now you're talking a little too loud.
So what are
There
you
we
doing
go.
here?
I'm looking for my comrade Sheva and Chris. Have you seen them?
Yeah, they both went after Wesker. He's on some tanker.
I saw one anchored offshore. Do you know where they are headed?
Yeah, but it's already left. It's too late to get to it now.
It's never too late. I got a helicopter waiting and I'm going after Sheva.
You got room for one more?
There's always room for a beautiful lady.
I bet you say that to all the girls.
Just the pretty ones. Come on, let's
Hey, this guy knows what's up with that. Beauty subjective and all that, so you. And maybe that is all the women say. I don't know, we don't know the standards. Gonna go ahead and move the volume back down now. Probably gonna be close. Oh, we actually are, Jill. Alright. What we got on us here? Just a machine gun. What's Josh got? I'll get to see that one of us at least has a heal.
Hurry! Sheva may need our help.
Got it.
Oh, they need our help. Alright, well, he seems to have that guy covered, so I'm just gonna go ahead and keep doing this. Like, it did show that there was like a ladder or something. So there's some guy down here. Ooh, you got us now. Oops, you did. Go ahead and come down here and pick up any resources that we need. Well, aren't you just Nope, not a problem anymore. It turns out that you just don't. Never mind, you're still a problem. Well, you know. You're not a problem now? Okay, good. Although my dude is running out of. Oh, come on. Now you've been got shots on you. This thing just has baby stopping that. Say double game drop. Yeah, that would hurt a bit. Interesting that she has a stabbing motion for hers instead of the regular slicing that we normally get out of these. Flash grenades. There's more ammo over there. They really wanted us to like jump right in there. Considering our ammo is as low as it is, I don't really think we have that option anymore. Unless we're like really not supposed to be fighting, in which case we just have to find. Again, I forgot to turn the map on. I'm not sure why it's not like default on, but it's. Oh did I pick up all the handgun ammo? I don't even have a handgun. Here, you have this, Josh.
Thank you.
And I should find these while I've got...
Thank you.
I gave him the red
I
herb.
need a nerve.
Use this.
I pressed
I owe
give
you one.
again because I'm bad.
I need
Because
a nerve.
give is where combine normally is, and like every other game that we don't have a second person to give anything to. But alright. I guess I can have a handgun myself. That's not the worst idea. Oh, there's transport area. Really nothing else we're supposed to do here. There was a ladder on this thing, and it did zoom in a ridge, which makes me think it was just going here, but it's really nothing. Maybe it's just a more stealthy way to go. Her knife motion is so much faster than the sword. Not something I'm really looking for, like accuracy or nothing in here, but I do kind of want to make sure that I have ammo. Ammo or nothing? Nope. Alright. Transport area. Again, why do we need... So these guys are just straight up like climbing over the fence, right? Why do we need a key if they're able to do that? Presumably we can do everything that they can do. If not better, because we're just supposed to be like the lead members and whatnot. But you know, you throw a door with a key in the way, and oh, everything goes down. I ran out of ammo then, and I need to take out my pistol. Oh, okay, I'm going up. Well, Jill
Just wait
Jenner
here.
is the one, the new stuff. So yeah, probably should take care of these guys before I leave. I'm going to go ahead and assume that Josh is okay over there. Then again, the man also has no ammo, so you know what? Maybe not. Oh, I can't even do it without it. Yeah, that's my bad, Josh. Oops, sorry about that. Well, that took a good minute to take off, but it's off. Out of the way, dude. Alright, he's dead. No ammo, huh? It just really hates anything to do with it. They really like Molotovs out here. Alright, well, they're dead. Still running out of ammo. There's already more fighting in this one than there was that entire last one. Machine gun ammo. Magnum ammo, I'll take some of that. Presumably we'll get a Magnum at some point if I didn't already miss it. Which wouldn't surprise me if I didn't miss it.
Hey, Doc, you having fun out there?
I wasn't until you interrupted you.
Yeah.
I don't remember picking up one being part of the mission. Is you cute?
This dude's not dead.
This is Gene Valentine you're talking about.
Hey, Miss Valentine!
Yeah, probably.
So you had to get picked up by that meathead. I'm here for you if you need to talk to RE5.
Calm the chowder dog. Jump, shout.
Yeah, we're picking a decent amount of Magnum ammo here. Said Magnum. Gonna be a assist jump up here, which I imagine is just to provide cover higher for him, even though
I'll cover you. Just watch your back.
Yeah. What level are you playing on? I am playing Desperate Escape, which is a mode that was not available in the normal Resident Evil. At least that's what it said. Yeah. Apologies for just getting into the message into the game. Yep, no, need to dodge this one. No. Chainsaw Bros are big problems. Yeah. Probably should have stayed on this. Probably would have been a lot easier. And then again, I also have no ammo, so. Oh, there's two. Oh, hello there. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem. But yeah, I'm playing Desperate Escape. The one we played before this, I forget, it was like Lost in Nightmares. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I'm just playing on normal. I'm really playing these ones more for the experience, for the story of it, rather than the actual difficulty, if that makes sense. Now, if it was Resident Evil 4, I'd consider doing a professional mode playthrough on it, because I actually like Resident Evil 4 enough to consider doing so. That might end up happening, although that might be just me. I don't know. Unless people were interested enough in it, then I would probably do something. But it's still enough stuff. Playing for fun or to get all the trophies? Playing for fun. I'm not really like a trophy. For 100% completionist. However, you refer to it as. I was just really looking in more for the story because when we left her in the regular game mode or whatever, there we never got to see her part. Just when we beat Wesker, she was just on the helicopter. Yeah, she and then everything was like happily ever after. And it was like, what? So then I started looking around. I was thinking about moving on to 6 tonight. That may or may not happen. But then I saw these extra modes, and then this was like, here's some extra story content. Or I was like, yeah, sure, I'll play it and see what's going on. But nope, just went back. Okay, good, that was it. Yep, he big bit. Is there really? I've got magnums. I got proximity mine. I'm gonna just go ahead and place that right there. Emergency exit. Really good. Use it because this guy's not dying. It's like this. But yeah, just playing this for fun and for the story, not like trophy on here or nothing. Hopefully Chainsaw Dude's not right behind me. Thanks for leaving him right behind me there, Josh. Appreciate you. That. Can I shoot the barrels again, or are they done? Yeah, no, they're done. Alright, I figured as much. I don't even know if I need to kill this guy, because I have the key now. But I'm like kind of invested in killing him now, even though I don't. Oh, he's dead. Okay, well, yeah, there it is. No, never mind. He was just laying down. Okay, you know what? I don't have ammo. I'll bring one right to my co-op partner on all co-op. That seems slow. I see. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm not coming for your. I'm not coming for your rake or nothing like that. No, just playing through it. Yeah, I'd never have anybody to play it with. Otherwise, I would probably attempt. If I had people to play Resident Evil 5 with, I would be doing co-op with them. But no, not this time. Rank 1 and rank 2 co-op partner. That's pretty good. That's impressive.
Josh, I'm sorry, but I have to go to the communication facility. There's something I have to tell Chris.
Okay, but don't think we can get rid of any data. The chopper is waiting for us beyond the communication facility, so we are heading in the same direction.
I probably
Thank you,
like
Josh.
missed the Magnum or something, because I got like 17 Magnum ammo, but have yet to receive them. It is cool to see that we got some competitive players in here for Resident Evil. I don't know how competitive the Resident Evil like ranking is and whatnot. It is cool to see that we got some Resident Evil veterans, I guess I should say. Ooh, shooting RPGs at me. Great. Oh, it's that big bird over there, isn't it? That actually, like, it, oh, it destroyed the entire thing. You know, I probably could have seen that one going. We need to get that guy off the turret. Probably gets up there to that turret so I can actually take care of it because it's big, quite bothersome right now. Somebody's got sights on. It's not Soldier 77. I deserve that. Absolutely. Oh, I can't even get down to him, so I'm just dead. You know, that's fair. In the start of this area, if you go on the left and jump 2 times, you can find two first aids. Okay. Go left and jump sometimes. Oh, on top of these? No. Go left. Well, there's ring. Go left, jump sometimes. Do I need to go down first or then go left? Yeah, that was good.
Are you alright?
I didn't realize we had that. You're actually dead, or you just get dropped? No, you're actually dead. Use map. Oh, I see now, I see. There we go. I always forget the map because I always think that it should be auto-enabled, I guess, but it doesn't, and then I just forget that it exists like half the time.
You take it.
Okay.
There we go. Well, that should help a little bit. It won't help if I blow myself up like I did last time, but, you know, I appreciate you looking out for me regardless. Why is this gun swayed so much? It's a machine gun. You know what? Give me the handgun. That might be a little better. Now, is there a point to sniping this guy out of here? Or is just another one going to replace it? Because if another one replaces it, it's not all too much. Still not dead. I'm dead. Come on now. I'm dead. I'm dead. I just don't want to have to deal with the turret if I don't have to. I'm pretty sure there's a second turret over here that I was missing. But if we can get one out of the way, we only got it up. Yeah, there's a turret all over there. Doesn't look like it's manned just yet. Molotov, dude. No, absolutely. Okay. What star heard that, a barrel or something over here? Because the Molotov dude was a... Oh, somebody really did go and man it again. I figured as much. Looks like blood flow. That door off there for
We need a hell of a lot of firepower to take that down.
Get down and sit. Doesn't even look like there's a guy on that now. Oh, that boy's blocked off. Keep it going. Wait, did we have access to the turret? No, that's on top of us, right? Let's get to it. Whoops, somebody on the other side. Nope. Get me out of here. Josh, if you would, before I get your body block, you babe? AI, please. Don't do me like this. Invincibility frames, baby, go. Get out of here. Can I use the door? Oh. Okay, there's actual, like, lofts to this. Now there's just shoot straight, but that mountain. Take care of that one. The other one up there. Makes me think that they might be random. Oh yeah, it's probably actually, like, local to the objective. AI sucks, bear the play co-op with a good play. You're telling me, man. I don't know if you watched the last like 2 streams, but I played the entire campaign solo, which I'm sure you can imagine the AI in certain parts was less than stellar is probably a fair way to put it. If I had people to play with, I would play with others, but I don't. And generally, the stream schedule is weird, so I can't really ask people to be able this time to just play. Okay, that one wasn't good, then I don't know what it was. Oh, good to see that Josh is taking care of business. Double knee drop, absolutely. Oh, I love it. That I was trying to shoot him, but I keep getting stuck on the turret. Oh, come on.
Are you alright?
Yeah, that's what I really noticed about Resident Evil 5. It feels like you really just have to play it like 2-player, or like the actual like solo player experience isn't very good. Which seemed very strange for Resident Evil, since all the ones before it, you know, were single player, in which case, maybe they're just not used to creating like the co-ops for these ones. I don't know. Step back a little bit. You good, Josh? You good down there? First aid spray, don't mind if I do. Reason to grab any of those. Nope. Well, you're actually not dead. Oh, you're an alien, that's why. Ah, fantastic. What if we just say no to that and get out of here? If he comes up here, we can blow him up with some barrels. Use the invincible frames to fight that. Really? But we got him, regardless. I thought that barrel was going to be a little better than what that was. Alright. Jump down. Is there a reason to jump down? Is there a reason for me to jump over in the first place? Oh, they get on the next right? I thought I was falling all the way down. I was about to shoot Josh in the face because I thought he was one of the zombies. I wish I had Jill's gun for like the game because like her gun actually. I probably played Resident Evil 5 a lot, which is probably why I may not have enjoyed it as much as I like. why do we need the spirit to like blow up the rock behind us or something? Is that it? It seems like it should be the case. Where did you end up, bro? Right, you have no aim. Probably should have thrown the rest of this.
Understood.
take it.
Understood.
Is this just is that what this is? Oh no, they're all a bunch of proximity ones. Okay. I'll just let him store these up.
You take it.
Okay.
You take it.
Okay.
Come on. You take it.
Understood.
And go in. I already have no room. I guess I gotta go there. Ah, yeah, he is the door first, right? Come on, Josh, get us out of here. Ain't gonna he brought passed me all across the lines.
Get over here!
Okay, did not know there was a big guy chasing behind us then. That would have been nice to know. Were we getting chased that entire time, or is it just because we landed down here? That's probably what it is. No, all time getting body blocked. I don't know. There's a big guy behind me. I'd rather get to see this stuff. Missed an RPG. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that probably would have been a good one to grab. The fact that I had them so... Oh. I can't even shoot it because it keeps making me grab the gun. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, get me out of here. I didn't know if we were actually able to loot the lockers. But one more RPG in here. Alright. You'll have to apologize for what I imagine will be cringe gameplay to you being
You take it.
the number one and number two. Take out this guy while we got him. Is there like a real reason that we should be taking out the RPGs? I mean, like outside of another weapon, it doesn't seem like there's nothing we can't really handle with our weapons, I should say.
You take it.
Understood.
Come on,
Come
Josh.
on.
Okay.
Can I not? Nope. Alright, you're a bit of a problem. Yeah, probably what the RPG's for, huh? Oops. Well, time to go this way. Yeah, open it. Fantastic. I might run.
You take it.
Okay.
I don't not have aim with it. Oh, because it's all like. Well, we need to go. This is not a good spot to be with a big dude with an axe going. How did they can people in? I feel like I keep knocking that. Yeah. Alright, that did it. There we go. Big boy. I don't know where he just ran off. Did he actually? My handle that. Yeah. I have 5 whole bullets. Well, down the knife. Why would you go down there, Josh? Why so wide?
Hand me a grenade. Come on!
When to use this? Careful out there.
Alright, well, just place proximity there's and never mind, because that is too close. I will get hit by every one of these, huh? Ow. I have all the healing, right?
Are you alright?
Oh, Alright, heal me up.
You have my right.
Is it really just gonna keep spamming enemies? Get up to 100% is. Yeah, we gotta make our way over there. Put this right here, or that runs after us. Ah, right, yeah, that used to kind of exist.
You have my right too.
Come on, Josh. Come on. Man, that's like all the proximity lines I got on me. Can we like kill this big axe? Dude? I feel like we should be able to. Oh yeah, that did. Alright, well that's one big dude we don't have to worry about. Straight up have the knife everyone to do this raid because I really can. Man, what knife Josh. Hey, it's fine, Josh. I got him. Yeah, you. So many knife stacks. My dude's not even dead yet. Holy. Ammo, please. Ain't gonna do it. Something. It's... Alright, time to make our way back over there. This is not working. Oh, this guy's got tracking aim on. Even with all the water, ain't got ammo. Grab the ammo for invincibility. Come on, Josh. I'll give you a healing over here, alright? Just like not in front of all that. Prefer this.
You have my gratitude.
Oh, I needed to shoot it from all the way over there. Just turn it. Okay, now I actually know where to shoot to actually make us continue, so... Yes, okay. You can have this one.
I owe you one.
I
need ammo.
Right. Get me any of these. Yeah, please. You don't even have the weapons to use for me. Right, that's it. Well, the ammo sure didn't last long. sure neither of these extra modes were supposed to be taking as long as they did. But, you know, it's me, so, it's just how it goes. Have handgun ammo, right? Something tells me 7 bullets may not just probably need to clear this bridge, or not, because I can't get the bridge fixed. Yeah, this is a problem. Yeah, I expected that to happen. But, we got Josh out here. This really didn't die, huh? Or did we make another one? Come on, Josh. Get moving. I need to leave this out way so we can actually get through. Well, we made it. Just gonna run past everything. Nothing tells me it's not gonna be that easy. But I may as well try, right? Yeah, that's the problem. Thankfully, those do less than the barrels for whatever reason. Alright, got him. Can I move through? Yeah, can't move. Can't open it. Of course not. That'd be cool. Ah, your problem. You're a bit of a problem, huh? Well, they're gonna keep respawning. There's no point in me killing these guys, so I'm gonna just take a break for it. Come on, Josh. We got the spur boys up here. Oh, I need to open the door for him. Yeah, that would probably be helpful.
I need ammo.
Right. Well, I don't have that either, Josh. Way to stand still for the dude. Alright, well, he's probably dead. Nope, we got invincibility. That's good.
I'm coming!
Josh, we need to go. Like, we need the bin going. Can't break through.
Damn it! The bridge is out. Dog, come in. The bridge is out. I'm going to need you to come to us.
Missed two
There's a landing
RPGs,
pad
one
on the roof of the
Magnum, and a
communication
2-on-1
facility.
shotgun. Nice.
Can you meet us there?
Anything for you, Miss Valentine.
Oh, boy. Well, I never like playing the game too easy now. That would just be too easy. I mean, that much firepower. Oh man, no. Who would possibly want that? I'm getting body blocked right now. Yeah, this is kind of a problem. I really missed two RPGs and shotguns. Oh boy. Yeah, that would probably explain why Resident Evil 5 is apparently harder than some of the other ones, I guess. Well, that we ran through like some of the chapters with like 5 ammo moves. Is that finally some bird? That's good.
You have Mag Rider too.
I knew I must have ran past the Magnum because it was like, oh, why would it give it to us with no Magnum? Right? So, you know, probably past the point of being able to go back. Or realistically being able to go back for it. I don't know if you just got stared at me all the time. And good ammo, we'll take those. Oh man, yeah. Ammo, huh? Give me all of this. Man, it turns out like if you open up your eyes, you can like kind of see more things straight. Oh, okay. Well, this is a problem. Josh, your body blocking me. Josh. Oh. Good thing we managed to kick that guy in the corner, because if we were in the corner, we'd probably be dead right now, I don't know. Josh, please, we need to go. Before you end up dying and have to resuscitate you, which is, good luck with that. Why would you ever go down? Finally, now we don't have to worry about that guy as much. Well, they're really trying to make sure I don't stay in that area. Hand grenade. AI really does not know how to use grenades. Hey, a shotgun. Man, if only we were told about that. I kid. I saw it. I was just too lazy to go back. Well, we got ourselves a shotgun now. Is there like no way to enlarge the map so I can see the rest of the area? I need the guns for probably not. That leads us back to that area. Well, we got a shotgun at the very least. That's something. Oh boy. Set a Magnum, two RPGs, and a shotgun. Well, you know, we got one out of the four. That counts for something. Pretty sure I just took the long way around there. Is this not the area we were really just in, but on the other side? Yeah. Fantastic. But we did all that just to go around the same way. Back after this point? Am I stuck with only the shotgun? Well, alright then. We fought Wesker with a knife. A shotgun with whoever the final boss should be like easy mode, right? Oh. Rip to the RPGs. Like, that's probably not happening. In the Magnum, that's all. Everything's probably gone. Everything's probably gonna go on fire and be like, man, I really wish I had the firepower at the end of this to be able to do what I need to do. But we'll keep it going like this, and if it really just becomes impossible, we'll go ahead and start it over or something.
Here it is. Give me a hand.
Okay.
The last one was pretty quick, so I imagine this is
same
probably
frequency as Chris's PDA.
probably the last part you were referring to.
Please be there, Chris.
Jill, are you all right?
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Just listen carefully. There's something I need to tell you. Wesker's superhuman strength. It comes from a virus.
Okay, so this is
Virus
another
unstable.
cutscene we've already seen before.
In order to
but I'll
maintain a
let it play
balance, he
out.
must inject himself regularly with a serum.
So if you cut the supply of serum, he loses his strength.
Affirmative. But he just took a dose, so it's gonna be a while before he needs another one.
Damn.
Listen, Excella said that the amount administered has to be precise.
So if he injects too much, it should act like a poison.
Again, I don't know how you come to that conclusion necessarily. It could have made him even more powerful, but
I'm gonna try
I
to find a way
suppose
to
it's
escape.
accident.
You need to find that
we'll go.
serum. Excella always kept it with her in an attaché case.
Sure.
Chris. Chris?
It's no good. It's being jammed.
It's okay. I told him what he needed to know.
Hurry. Doug should be on the roof by now.
All right.
Well, helicopters, Resident Evil 5, or Resident Evil in general, not a good track history, so, you know. Oh, first aid, don't mind if I do. Well, you know, we'll probably have to be finding something here, I guess you can hold on to the Magnum ammo, because if I don't have a Magnum, there's no reason for me to hold on to this.
You have my take this.
Yeah, you take that. Okay, he's just gonna loot the entire area? Well, I am still trying to figure out how to make this work. And the first aid, points or whatever, who cares? Considering we send me a message if you want to play a bit different and get some or all trophies. Absolutely, yeah, sure.
You take it.
Understood.
If it comes to that point, we will.
Pick it up.
This was gonna be like a bit of a shorter stream to begin with, so I was thinking we were probably gonna finish up these and maybe put like an hour or two into Resident Evil 6, and that'd probably be it for the stream. So we'll see, but I can't guarantee tonight, at least, since I have to work in the morning.
You take it.
Okay.
More hand grenades, absolutely. Give me that. I'm sure we're gonna need it because they're loading me up with ammo, so I'm sure we'll find something big here. Probably gonna have to use a lot of the fire. Oh, just little boys, get out of here. Well, is this just a holdout mission? Oh yeah, it's 100% holdout mission.
There's no escaping these guys. Where the hell are you, Doug?
I'm almost there. You don't worry about keeping the parasite safe and let me worry about getting you out.
It's like the mercenaries, essentially, but for a longer time period. Oh right, I don't have ammo. Yeah, probably should not point the empty gun at it. Not exactly that dignifying. How do you not have ammo out of all of this, Doug? You ran around and was like zapping ammo. Oh, we can large this, can you? Well, we can always do coward strats and just run around forever. Well, you know, this guy might be a little bit of a problem, huh? They tend to, you know, it's a problem. Okay, yeah, that's a problem. Josh, did you get hit by the grenade? That's supposed to be hit by the grenade. I'm just gonna chuck all my grenades at it. It may not be the best idea, but it's an idea. Josh, you're supposed to avoid the minigun non-blocking. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Well, you know. Josh, please. Yeah, if only had like a magnum or like 2 RPGs to shoot this guy with. I sent my PSN ID in private message. Gotcha. Ow. Wow, that didn't hit me. Josh, you can't be dying if I'm dying at the same time. That's not how this works. Oh, gosh. Oh, the desktop audio is getting a little too loud. It wasn't bad until Machine Gun Bro showed up, in which case, Is this the last final? It's got to be the last final area, right? In which case, if that's the case, I may as well just finish this and we'll just move on. I appreciate the offer, but we'll be moving on to Resident Evil 5 after this area, so I don't know if that's like co-op as well, in which case I could probably just have you in that as well. Although I don't want to play it for too long because I wasn't planning on making this stream too long. Yeah, Magnum and RPGs are your boss killers. Like, I'm sure if we had our RPG Magnum Wombo combo, like, we could just put this down, like, instantly.
You take it. You take it.
Understood.
Pick it up.
Understood.
I mean, that's like the general idea behind the Magnum and the RPGs is just to put people to sleep, right? I feel like my gameplay is just like triggering you, right? Which I, like, don't get me wrong, like, I can understand why. If you're like, you know, like rank number 1 and number 2, of course you're gonna see something like this and you're gonna be like, ah, this is terrible, right? That's understandable.
I owe you one.
Gatling gun guy times 2, chainsaw guy times 2, you'll have fun. Oh yeah, I'm sure we will. The coward strats are gonna be 100% on point here. Gatling gun times 2. Oh boy. Yeah, I remember when we originally fought the Gatling guys times 2 in the main part of the game or whatever. I ended up just RPGing those two. Turns out I made that part really easy.
Take it.
Okay.
Come on!
Understood.
The chainsaw guys, hilariously enough, are probably like my worst concern out of these guys. The whole big boy bullet dudes are not exactly doing much. Like, he kind of like just exists, but he's not really doing anything currently. Well, at the very least, you can enjoy my suffering for not actually going back in. Picking up the weapons that I should have done so. Skedaddles. Oh. Why did that dude didn't turn into an alien? They tend to get real annoying. Yeah, this is Josh, you could die over this, that'd be great. Oh, that's a chance I got. Yep, time to go. Coward strats engaged, baby, let's go. Ah, well, when the AI kills itself, and now I'm on fire, that's okay, see that?
For fuck's sake, I got the OWs flying all over the place.
Excuse me? You have to make a detour. I'm tired for you to make detours. You see what I got going on here? Please. Josh is actually going to be the reason that I actually end up dying here. 100%. This man is going to be the reason why I end up dying right here. you know, outside of my lack of carrying the pickup guts that probably would have done some work here. That green herb would have been nice. If only I had the room for it. What do you have on you? Keep the 2 slots open. Why are you not grabbing the green herb? And please, your AI is killing me right now. Use it? There we go. Alright, time back the coward strats. Yeah, reloaded. You really stuck shots in there and hit me. Kidding me. Yeah, I probably shouldn't take damage like that for free when I don't have any healing items. Yeah, no, that was really sick. See how many times this man can get delayed before he actually gets here to get us out of here. Or if Josh dies before then, which could be a very real possibility. Hey, more green herb. Josh, pick that up. And he goes. Well, unless like a chainsaw guy rolls through, I think we're gonna be okay here. The coward strats are in full effect. It may not be like the highest point worthy run or anything like that, but I was really just playing it for figuring out the way to learn much less and figuring out how these guys exactly are. Helicopter to help them. Well, at the very least, the shotgun pickup is probably what saved us here eventually. Ow. Did we live? Yeah, no, we lived, right? Yeah, we lived. Okay, easy. It's just that easy. Maybe you were thinking of a harder difficulty because didn't only one chainsaw guy and one machine guy show up? Maybe you were thinking of like veteran or something, perhaps? I was just playing it on normal mode. Or maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe the helicopter gets shot down. Do I need quick time events here? I don't know. They really like to spring them on you without any formal warning. I thought I was going to switch to his point of view and start shooting some of these guys.
Come on, move it!
Oh man, not the RPG. Every time we have a helicopter, you gotta shoot it down. Or you're gonna shoot that dude with the RPG? You tracked that guy with an RPG over the actual helicopter that's getting away? What? Resident Evil, man. Cover us. Oh, do I actually get to do? No, okay. End this man? There you go. Oh, you must be joking. Oh, good. Well, yeah, of course you missed. Otherwise, how would we have a helicopter for the final boss? I was like, there's no way, but...
Dog. He would have done better.
Oh, survivor
Sorry,
skill.
Josh.
Come on now. Not now, Josh.
He was a brave soldier.
He was. my friend. And if we don't help Sheva and Chris, he will have died for nothing.
You're right. Let's go see if we can help them.
Now, do we do anything here, or is it just going to be cinematic after this point? Because if it's just cinematic after this point... Yep, nope, that's the end of it. Okay, well, you know what? Fair enough. You know, it's like just in desperate escape. Again, not really worth me, like, coming back to for that, so... I'll accept the A on both of them, so I mean, I'll take that. I'm kind of surprised that we got a B for the amount of people that we killed, but then again, the only weapon I actually ended up picking up there was the shotgun, so... And I ran around for forever, so... That's it for Resident Evil 5. Of all the Resident Evils, this is probably the least likely one I come back to. Unless I actually get people to play it with, then maybe we'll do it again, but I don't know. If we're kind of thinking of getting the Resident Evil series done by the end of this year, then we'll probably need to keep it moving, but I'll consider it, I suppose. I don't know. That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and load up Resident Evil 6, and I'll be right back in a second. Alright, with that, we're on the Resident Evil 6. I'm not sure why we need to go through like 3 different menus already. Is like something I'm noticing just to get to the game, but alright. Just the brightness. Oh, we'll see how that brightness works and adjust it from there, shall we? Well, this is not exactly what I thought Resident Evil 6 was going to be leading into, because realistically, Wesker's dead, and the general idea of the Ouroboros fight should be pretty much gone with him. Although, you know, that'd be a little too easy. Was that a leech? Got Resident Evil 0 coming back in here? We doing a full circle? Is that what's happening? Well, okay then. It seemed a little too calm, but all right. Looks like we got some helicopters, some air support for once. I don't know who you are. I don't even know who I am. I imagine we're probably illegal. Although we didn't just play as Chris in the last one, so maybe not. Look around. Do I? Next one? Oh, am I supposed to be pulling it away in case I'd like to see it? Are they gonna try and gun me down now? Because I certainly could not run away from them if they've got a helicopter on top. all the aim they had before that just disappeared, so I guess we're good. You're gonna shoot at a helicopter? Not exactly the way I was expecting Resident Evil 6 to start off. I feel like we might be farther ahead than what we feel like we should be.
Come on.
Okay, I'm not moving her at all.
Yeah.
This is all her. Okay, now I can actually move? Well, it doesn't look like I can do anything. This movement is
Hang in
wonky
there,
already.
Helena.
But also, we're carrying another body, so you know, that's probably the biggest problem. Oops. Sorry about that.
I'll only slow you down. Just go.
I mean, you are kind of slowing me down right now, but also, why you got green on your face right there?
You're not getting off that easy. Come on.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of hoping Resident Evil 6 goes back to the
After all we've been through.
the single player
It'd be a waste to give up
because
now.
that seemed to be their strong suit, but something tells me this might come back to being co-op for 6. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, good. Quick time events. Great. That was like something that I didn't want to come back. But alright, I'm sure that won't play into boss fights or anything. That totally will not get me killed later in the game, I'm sure. Oh, absolutely not. Something tells me you do not want to be seen by that helicopter there. Which is apparently still looking for me for whatever reason. As if there wasn't like plenty of other things to take care of here.
Let's try this way. We're almost through this.
What does she do? Like break her ankles or something? Why are we still carrying her? Can I has? Can I has gun? No, okay, we're just gonna walk past that? Alright then. And clearly guns are not helpful in the zombie apocalypse, which this appears to be what it is. So what, is 6 like an alternative universe where Wesker actually gets the Ouroboros?
Let's take a break.
These camera shots still? Like, I see you, Capcom, I see you.
There's gotta be a first aid kit in here somewhere.
Find a healing item. Do we have a map like 5? At least not yet. Seems like we're still tutorial-esque. No running yet either? Well, I guess it seems like we're hurt right now, so that's probably what that is. Did I miss it? No, we probably gotta venture farther out, right?
Makes me sick seeing good soldiers die like this.
Ah, but he's got a green herb on him, so, you know, otherwise we'd be stealing from him, you know. And we couldn't possibly have that. Okay, this is feeling very weird so far.
Leon, are you there?
Hunnigan,
Well,
Good to hear you're okay. Where's
okay,
Helena?
that is something.
she's not doing too good. She needs medical attention.
Do you have any herbs left?
A few, but I'm not sure they'll help.
Okay, listen. Just follow my instructions.
Okay. I had 2 herbs. Why did I need to go find another herb to give to her? Oh, maybe I need to make a bigger heal for her. Well, okay, if you say so. This feels so weird already.
Hold on, Helena.
No, I just want to give it to her. Please, Gabe, work with me here.
Too many good agents have died here today. You're not getting added to that list.
Leon.
Yeah, figured as much on that one. I'm really surprised he wanted to, like, just double tap this man. Just to make sure that he's you know, actually down. Why? Why do we need the latest
Damn it, out of ammo.
that's a bit of a problem. Yeah, you never told me what to do here, Gabe, so I tried to figure something out here, but this isn't exactly going. I had 3 whole bullets left. I gotta get used to this. This is weird.
Can't let your guard down for a second.
It's giving me Resident Evil 5 vibes, which I'm not sure how I'm feeling about that one. Eat the herb. Just eat it. Why are we using herbs in 2012? I don't know.
How do you feel?
Which I believe is when Resident Evil 6
I
came
think
out.
I'm gonna be okay. Thank you.
Leon, what are you doing? You need to get out of there, now!
We're heading to the quad tower.
What? No, it's too dangerous.
There are BSAA agents there with survivors. I can't abandon them.
Alright. Then let me help. I'll direct you through the safest route.
Thanks, Hunnigan.
So Hunnigan, Resident Evil 4, Kennedy's
I've sent over the
Resident
field
Evil
guide to your
4,
PDA. You can always refer to
Resident
that in a
Evil
pinch.
3 and 2, display route guide. I get this feels so weird. I don't have ammo on. I know this is supposed to be like a tutorial type area right now, but like, okay, we can actually move while doing it. It's just like extremely slow as compared to how we normally move, which apparently like default moving is running. So that's that's not concerning at all. It seems overkill, redundant perhaps, to have both the display route guide
What the hell?
and show the mission like this, but maybe this.
You got it.
Oh no, we have to do. It is gonna be co-op, isn't it? Oh boy. In which case, I'll probably need to find somebody to play this with, so that way we don't have to deal with our Jevas involved.
Hunnigan, can we make it to the tower this way?
Yes, just keep moving in that direction.
Keep moving? You want me to go? You want me to jump down here with all the zombies? Because I believe I remember him saying that we have no ammo. So, oh, well, good to see that she has ammo at least. I guess I have some form of melee on me. Just gonna roundhouse kick people to death real quick, if you don't mind. Said I had ammo. That's right. Oh, do I not have stamina? How is this not hitting? Where's my aim? What is going on here? I don't know how this UI here so far is, I'm not a fan already. Okay. Don't you want?
They're coming out of the woodwork.
Well, time to kick this dude out of the way. Good. Yeah, that's gonna be to be a tad bit of a problem. Oh, don't tell me I had to fight.
Over here! Get in!
Oh, you were shooting at us. Okay. Okay, I don't need to press any buttons to jump or nothing. Alright. Alright, yeah, you seem to be a problem. If you could just get off and then fall into the explosion, please. Yes, thank you. There was like no menu for this game. We just went straight into the action. Maybe we have to complete this tutorial last part, and then maybe that'll happen. How did this guy die? He was good like 5 seconds ago. I highly doubt it's the song. He's at least dead.
I can't bring her up. Come on.
Oh, I have to. Do I actually have to attempt to fly this? Apparently I do. Oh, yeah.
Pull up.
This thing isn't gonna hold up much longer.
Just a few more blocks.
Oh, don't tell me you're gonna turn into a zombie. You should have let him fall.
Elena!
Oh, we have to quick time event for this? Okay. No, not more quick time events. No! This is exactly what I said. I can't Oh, I don't have to do quick time event there? Oh, well. I guess. Oh yeah, this joyride isn't over yet. Oh yeah, that's kind of a problem. Yeah, maybe don't crack the glass any more than it's already cracked, shall we? Oh. We need proof. Okay, so the actual bar is the amount of time that we actually have.
All right.
And then we just need to press it within that lit up area. Okay, I'm starting to get a little bit of it. Again, it could be, you know, you can have a text tutorial as well as a visual one. Or, you know, the text tutorial and then the visual tutorial immediately following after. And then it'd probably be more understood than what they seem to think is.
Something doesn't feel right.
Oh, how am I in the toilet? L1X is crouch now instead of reload. Oh, well, I apparently have to go down here. Even though we saw like a million zombies in the other room just chilling. Pretty sure we should stay higher up than this, but okay. No, let's do it. You know, let's do it. I'm sure nothing terrible could go wrong. Nothing could go wrong here, right? Oh, okay, well.
Back for more.
Back for more? Have we met them before? Presumably, yes. Oh, whoa, wait, what the heck? You can't be showing that.
Resident Evil 6.
Alright, well that was a good introduction to it, I suppose. And just throw it into the deep end and they're like, hope you swim. Alright, yeah, sure, yeah, okay. Campaign select Leon, Chris, Jake, or Ada. Oh. We switched to Chris, what's this looking like? That dude looks like he's turning into a spider. What's Jake's? He's Krauser? And Ada. Okay. We may as well start off with Leon, because that's the one we, like, know the most of, really. Well, and Chris. And I guess... the least at least I know about is Jake. Like, Jake must be Jake, because I don't really remember ever. Screen mode single. Split. Okay, so it is going to be co-op again. Oh, fantastic. I might have to attempt to find somebody to help play this one because the AI in Resident Evil 5 was killing me. Amateur? Absolutely not. Normal? Sure. Vet? Sure. no hope. Yeah, no, let's go ahead and go with normal, you know, that we want to play it for the story, really. If we want to, if it becomes too easy or something, we can maybe always move it up after this. Helena or Leah? Give me Leah. Come on. The network's offline. PlayStation Network, partner join, don't join, private, don't join. Patient saying, objective settings, playing for fun, serious players only, playing for medals, here for the story, looking for. Well, if anything, I guess I'd be here for the story currently. Friendly fire? Absolutely not. Infinite ammo? That would cut down on the amount of backtracking and whatnot we would do, but that would also cheapen the experience, so let's not. Partner, we'll leave it off for the time being, and I guess I'll try and find people, and if it doesn't happen, I guess we'll roll with the AI, and if I get like absolutely stuck, then we'll find people. People have Resident Evil 6 and they want to play Resident Evil 6 with me. I guess you can just drop your PSN IDs, and if you just happen to be on at the time that I'm streaming it, then you might just be lucky enough to be able to join, depending on if anybody or multiple people even send theirs for this game. It's already like midnight. Perfect. Okay.
Bioorganic weapons are a global threat. Start working with the rest of the world. We have to come to my desire to reveal the truth. Tell them it might create more problems than it's time we take responsibility. We want to have any chance. I've always valued your friendship, Leon.
Stay right where you are. Mr. President!
Oh, get down, Mr. President. Nah, I gotta shoot you in the face. We're just gonna let this happen.
Make me do this.
Shoot it? Am I shooting him or are you?
It's all my fault.
How? How exactly? I explained that
I did
one?
this.
What are you talking about?
Kinda look like the detective lady from
Talos
Evil
Cathedral.
Within.
I'll explain everything there, Agent Kennedy.
How do you know my name?
Yes?
Hunnigan,
Thank God you're both all right.
how do you two know each other?
That's Helena Harper.
She's been with the Secret Service since last year. I can't tell you how good it is to hear you two are all right. Look, I hate to rush introductions, but I need a report on your situation.
We're alive. The president, not so much.
I just shot the president.
He had already been infected by the time we found him. Leon did what he had to. He saved my life.
God help us. All right, I'll submit the report.
You two just focus on getting the hell
Out of there. The virus has already spread 3 miles past the campus perimeter, and it's not slowing down.
You need to hurry.
Not before we check out Talos Cathedral. Agent Kennedy's got a lead that might tell us who's responsible for this.
Leon, is that true?
Yeah, I think I might have something.
Roger that.
I'll map out the safest access route. Keep your radio on.
I got a lead?
You will if you come with me.
Well, glad to see that she has an idea what's going on here, because I have no idea what's happening here. Why are you a zombie? I mean, I guess the Ouroboros more than likely is still running around loose, regardless of Wesker's involvement now.
So what's so special about this church? You have some sins to confess?
It's hard to explain. If I don't tell you at the cathedral, you may not believe me.
Hey, can I not? Zoom game start. Let's check. Display another player's rare equip skill. You know what? How about this? We're gonna end it here. I know. I wanted to play a little more Resident Evil 6 than this. But I gotta go to work in the morning, so yeah, this one was, I already planned on it being a shorter stream as is. I did want to get in the 6 a little more than this, but looks like that may not be happening. And I would rather stop it right now than continue it and then get to like a better part than what this is, and then end it and leave it on like a bigger cliffhanger, I guess, than what it already is. So I'm probably gonna I'm gonna go ahead and call it here for Resident Evil 6 for the time being. We'll pick it up on Monday of next week. I'll see what I can do about finding a second person to play this along with me. I don't even know how many people actually have Resident Evil 6, much less still play it at this point. So it might be a bit of a challenge. Maybe we'll take a random person online, or if chat has their PSN IDs, you could go ahead and drop them in chat or private message me on Twitter or Discord. You could drop it in Discord as well. You could some way of getting it to me. Exclamation marks. There we go. Here we go. As always, there's my Twitter. There you go. You could DM it to me on Twitter. You could drop it in Discord if you end up joining that. If you have your PSN ID, you can drop it in stream chat right now if you wanted to. But there's my Twitter. It'll just tell you guys when I'm going live. So if you guys follow it, then you guys know when I'll go live. Within the 5 minutes or so of sending it, we'll be starting it. So as soon as you see that tweet, within like the next 5 minutes or so, bam, we're already playing. It's just that easy. YouTube channel, archive of all the streams that we've done beforehand. So if you guys missed any of Resident Evil 0 through 5, you can go back and check those out. There's also Dark Souls 3 fully completed, as well as Bloodborne fully completed, along with some other games that we've got on there. And then there's Discord if you want to join that. Fine, about the same as Twitter, and that you just ask me if I'm going to stream today, if I have an idea of what time I'm going to stream today. Just normal stuff as well. I mean, I don't mind that either. It's just another way to keep in contact, really. So there's all of that. I know, a little shorter of a stream. Unfortunate the way that it worked out, but it is what it is. I considered it killing it off after 5. So that way we would get a fresh start into 6, but then it still felt like a little too early to kill off the stream. But now it feels like we're a little deeper into here than I want to be to continue this, because otherwise I'll want to keep playing it more and more, in which case I actually need to sleep for work tomorrow. So, so we're going to go ahead and call it there. Appreciate everybody for coming out. If you guys haven't followed yet, what are you guys doing, man? We gotta hit that 50 followers and not subscriber. That's completely different. That actually costs real money, which I forget that. But follow 50 followers now. That's free. I mean, how much better can you ask than that? If you thought the 3-ish hours of entertainment here for the stream was good enough, then go ahead and drop a follow. Why not? It's free. It's literally a button. It's a single button press that you never have to press ever again. Literally a single button press, and you can forget about it for the rest of your time here, and I could care less. So there's that. Always shameless self-promotion at the end. Always. I mean, why not, right? So Monday, presumably nothing goes wrong, go ahead and look forward to Resident Evil 6. I'll see what I can do about getting a second person. It's probably going to be a Resident Evil 5 situation, in that I doubt that it happens, and I would rather take an AI over somebody else. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that. Resident Evil 5's AI is really, but then also I don't necessarily want somebody who's already like played the game or whatever, like showing me everything, because you know this is a blind playthrough, and that I haven't played Resident Evil 6, so I don't want them to lead me throughout the entire game. I still want this to be, you know, my experience. I don't mind sharing the experience with others, but I don't want them to like hold my hand and like walk me through the game, if that makes sense. Like I don't want them I want us to be on the same playing field. You know, if they haven't played it, I haven't played it, it's just a whole new experience for both of us. Cool. If you played it before, but you let me make my my own mistakes or whatever, as I've done in plenty of the other ones, like not grabbing the RPGs, like the one dude was talking about, that we still lived. So I stand by my decision of not going back to go get those. But yeah, so there's that. And look for Resident Evil 6 on Monday. If anything happens, as always, I'll just tweet out saying stream's canceled, or maybe delayed, or something along those lines. We'll see how it goes. That all being said, appreciate everybody for coming out. Look forward to Resident Evil 6 on Monday, and I will see you guys next week. See ya.